Thank you, Tommy. I'm delighted to be back on a podium with you after, I think, 20 years when I was Minister of Environment. And for those you don't know, Tommy played a very, very important role in the climate change treaty at Rio, at the Earth Summit in Rio in 1992. If it not because of Tommy Coe, we would have not had any climate change treaty at that time. Tommy, the biggest challenge we face in India is the growth of our urbanization. Though today only 31% of India is urbanized, yet we have the second largest urban population in the world. And as India grows, growth has preceded infrastructure. You were right when you said that India has huge infrastructure challenges. So with growth preceding infrastructure, we have a huge infrastructure deficit. Now that infrastructure deficit is not only in urban infrastructure, but also in other areas of infrastructure, whether it's our roads, our ports, our airports. So the biggest challenge is bridging this infrastructure, urban infrastructure deficit. What we build in the next 5 years will be really catching up with the past, not building for the future. So the challenge is not only to build, to bridge the deficit, but also to build for the future. We have about, today, 55 cities with a population of more than 1 million, which is in the next decade expected to go up to about 65 to 70 cities with a population of more than 1 million, which is larger than the whole of Europe. We have about 13 cities with a population of more than 4 million, and of course our 6 mega cities. The biggest challenge in this is water, sewage, transport. And one of our biggest emphasis has been that in our smaller cities, that is in our smaller municipalities, which most countries in Asia face, is capacity building. How do we build up capacity of our urban municipalities? We launched the Urban Renewal Mission 5 years ago, and we are now launching our second Urban Renewal Mission. This Urban Renewal Mission will be close to $40 billion, which the federal government will support our states, our various state governments, besides the outlay which the state governments will be having. Support them in water, in sewage, in urban transportation. One priority which we had made and which we've succeeded in is in urban transportation. Today we have our metros. Our metros in Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, and Jaipur. They are being built. They are in various stages of construction. In Delhi, we have launched our phase 3. We are building our phase 3 of our metro. And when we finish phase 4, we shall commence shortly, Delhi would have 440 kilometers of metro, which will be larger than the London Underground. We have targeted that all cities above 2 million should have metros. And for that, we are working towards preparing the project reports so that we can launch this as fast as possible. One of the big problems we've had is in our water, sewage, and in the functioning of our local bodies, that is, the functioning of the municipalities, the role, the devolution of powers, what is going to be the balance between politically elected representatives. India is not only the largest democracy, it is the rowdiest democracy. And being a very large democracy going down to the village level and the municipal levels, the governance in municipalities between the bureaucracy at the administrative level and the politically elected leaders. So what is the kind of devolution of powers? This is a governance issue. Because if we can put together our governance issue and the issue of capacity building, which I mentioned earlier, we would be able to move much faster than what we are doing today. We have huge opportunities in water and sewage, and I said in urban roads. So strategic urban planning. Strategic urban planning is what we are at the moment engaged in, and I think that briefly sums up the challenges we have. How do we have our land resources? How do we use our land resources efficiently? Optimum and efficient use of land, which covers both the larger cities and the smaller cities. How do we monetize some of our land assets of the smaller, medium, and large municipalities? So that, as a whole, with India now having such a large urban population, with a young population, the mobility becomes much more. And with the mobility of a younger population, urbanization's pace increases. So with a young population, a large young population which is highly mobile, we see India moving towards having perhaps one of the largest urban populations in the world. Thank you, Tommy.